Yeah, isn't that? Mm. Wow, 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 wow. All right.
Revolving scale is now ready.
Your mom is ready. Oh yeah. Ooh. Hardy radish. Hardy radish. Yeah. Get the hardy radish. Ooh. That palm fruit, boy. Oh. Hey, that Breath of the Wild. Back to the good old days of 2017. Is that your like old man voice? The old man voice is like this. Is like, yeah, man, 2017, man. 2017 in the old days. In the last decade, it was rough, man. They didn't have AI in it. Yeah. Back in them days, 2017, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came out. Hey, back in them days, 2017. Back in Hurricane Harvey and yeah. There was yeah, I guess it was there was this crazy motherfucker, really. I don't know if he was schizophrenic or I don't know what his deal was. Um yeah, I guess you could call him like an incel, but it was like he never looked like he ever had a chance to get laid. Like he never had a chance to like actually get a girlfriend or anything. Like he never even had an offer. You know what I mean? Like it was that bad. And he was just that undesirable, that unattractive, you know. He looked like the guy David. He looked like the Pennywise from It. I mean, without the clown makeup, he looked horrible. And So there was no way he was ever getting any girls naked or anything, any women naked. I mean, it's just never going to happen, probably. I mean, it probably never ever happened. You know. Well, you can't really tell sometimes if you know things are a cry for help, or if like sometimes you can't tell if it's like, oh man, this is this is really serious shit, or like if if somebody's just going on a rant, right? Like, because sometimes somebody's just going on a rant, and they're angry at some little thing, and usually the rants aren't even that bad. They're just like, oh, my job, blah blah blah. My mother's a bitch or whatever. Like typically they're just like bloviating, they're just like releasing steam a lot of times, and typically they're just normal like that, just oh, okay, whatever. Somebody was angry and angry at somebody or something annoyed them, and now they're got it off their chest, and it's all good. Pass like the rain on the mountains, folks. Like in Lord of the Rings, King Theoden's Bernard Hill speech. But but uh but then sometimes there's like a YouTuber that's like gets on the FBI watch list or something, or the that has like the shooting range, and he's got like multiple ARs, and it's kind of a scary dude. This guy was on the scary side, and like his YouTube videos were not necessarily like trying to make creative content to grow his channel or anything, or to have an audience or whatever. It was more like they were like crazy unhinged rants all the time, but he wasn't drinking, you know he wasn't high, he wasn't tripping on mushrooms, he was just fucking crazy. And he called himself King David, which is like an old Jewish king, and that's crazy too. So I think the best way to get like a whole lot of arrows is in here. Well, you can go to different places too. Yeah. So okay. Well, there's Uh, oh, I know why. You got to search in YouTube parameters. Oh. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So, anyways, he's been trying to, like, in his head, become some sort of like underground artist or something, like a rapper or poet or some shit like that. And it's just like it sucks, you know. It's just like I don't I don't know how much money you can make being a schizophrenic. So that's the thing. I hate to say that, but like I know that sounds stupid. That sounds ridiculous, but there's only like I think one successful schizophrenic musician, and I'm not talking about like Sid Barrett. Like I'm talking about he was a successful musician before he did all those drugs, before he did all the acid. But Wesley Willis had schizophrenia, and he made a pretty good living selling his rap tracks and his funny tracks because they were hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of artists that call themselves King David after the King of Israel. So it's I don't really find that King David is a original group or solo artist name. I think it's pretty unoriginal. So I don't want to piss off the cuckoos. I didn't even mean to do that. That's kind of incidental, accidental. You know me, boy. I'll drop a bizarre on you down. About to get domed. All right. So back in like 2017, I was looking for weird YouTube channels, and I was like, and I stumbled upon more than a few of them, but definitely one of the absolute scariest ones was this guy, King David, as he calls himself. I don't know what his real name is. It's David something, It's probably David John Jones or some shit like a serial. It's probably like a serial killer's name. David Mark Jones. Like they always have names like Mark David Chapman, shit like that. Like shit that just seems like names that just seem like generic. It's like James Jones Williams and shit. So he would go on these like really angry rants about society, and then I mean, he looked like Pennywise from It. I mean, he probably had trouble. I mean, not just getting like a girlfriend, but he looks like he had issues, like even getting like a fucking friend, let alone let alone a female. It looks like he couldn't even get a friend or a family member to hang around him. It's real bad. And he looked pretty angry too about all that. Oh, you think you're gonna get away with that shit, dog? Okay. Well, he might get away with it because it's a blood moon. Yeah. Oh, you're just not getting away with it now. Mhm. Okay. Ooh, you better recognize, boy. You're about to get recognized. Okay. And then he started making really crazy videos that weren't just like rants against society. They were like he started to arm himself up with pistols and dress like a combat soldier and act really fucking strange. And then when there'd be like a natural disaster, he would say, "Oh, good. I'm glad people got what they deserved," and stuff like that. And so he started to become kind of infamous because he was posting all this negative, angry shit about society. And he was, scary, looking like Pennywise, looked like he was going off the deep end, like Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. And it was, yeah, it was very scary. So, You want another one, brother? We do this all day. So it breaks. So then finally, people started to notice this guy was, this guy's nuts, man. And this guy's nuts, man. This guy's posing with all these guns all the time, and he's going Travis Bickle mode. He's like, "Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?" And he's making threats online. Then it starts to get way out of control. And finally, the people turn him in California. They turn him into the police. They say, "Man, this guy ain't right. We got to do something about this guy." I mean, yeah, this is going over the edge, like this content. This ain't your usual, ranting and raving. This ain't your usual somebody, complaining about their job or some shit. This is complaining about their boss, or this is some dangerous shit. Like you know, this guy could go off, and he's like armed to the teeth. I mean, who knows what this guy's going to do, but it's not going to be good. So, thankfully, the authorities, they put him in. I guess he probably got the help he needed, because before he was kind of spiraling out of control, and I think he went to like a prison and like rehabilitation, and he went through the mental health system, and I guess he just got his freedom taken away for a while, and for about 2 or 3 years, I guess. And then I guess he got the medication, the help he needed, and then he went a totally different direction. So seems like a totally different person now. Like he's not angry. I guess they give him like a bunch of schizophrenic drugs. Like maybe it keeps his shit. Like they keep him doped up or something where he doesn't like do anything. I guess he got his. I guess he got his internet privileges back. So his social media privileges, I guess, got this back. I think maybe they took down the videos with the guns and shit. So I mean they could still be up. They weren't like the kind of threats he was making were like I could do something, but should I do it or can I do it? It wasn't like a specific threat. So I guess that's why the mental health and the authorities were like, what do we do with this? Like yeah. Yes. How dare you disturb the frog? That you would die. To disturb Kek is punishment by death. Ready for some oh. Ooh. Kick my ass twice, don't. That's a wild horse. That's a wild horse. Wild, wild horses could drag me away. Oh, kick my ass 3 times. I don't know if this is my dong. This might not be the horse for me, bro. Alright, we put him in that chill zone because we were like, hold on, fool. Yeah. Now we got big dog here. Now we riding. Now we riding. Ooh. Uh-oh. Shit. Tell you one thing, welcome to the team. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Running out of weaponry. Hell yeah. Yeah, so King David was kind of reaching all the red flags, and all the red flags are as follows. Now, there's a lot of men who live solitary, uh, so that's I guess that's not really a red flag, but we'll just go ahead and put it on the list anyway. Even though there's lots of men who live by themselves in their own apartments in their own houses. So, but so King David had the first red flag, which is like, okay, let's do an enhanced red flag. Let's do lives by yourself, but you have no friends and you have no close relatives. I guess there you go. So let's we enhance the red flag to make a little bit more sense because there are a lot of single men that live by themselves, right? That aren't technically crazy. So we'll do lives by self, but no friends. No girlfriends, no family. Food. Okay. What's red flag number 2? Or something to look out for, I guess. All right, go. Okay, so red flag number 2 for possible threat to society is angry rants about society. Really, really, really angry rants about society. Very, very, very angry, almost psychotic rants about society or civilization or humanity. Let's say. Let's add that to the similar thing. Okay, we got North Maple Ridge right here. We have a stone chalice. Ah, what happened? Cat got your bunghole. Ooh. Welcome to the team, baby. Ow. Okay. Very, very angry rants and manifestos about humanity, civilization, society, or, just about, I mean, they could rant randomly. Um, Incoherence of thought. Okay, so number 3 red flag is incoherence of thought, of, but not in a creative sense, like the person is making up different songs or different paintings or writing different books. This is more like like batshit crazy. Like everything's moving topic to top. Like the rants are moving from topic to topic, and they're not actually like so that there's little to no control. It's just everything is just so chaotic that it doesn't even seem like it doesn't seem like the randomness is creative. It seems like the randomness is chaotic. Like it's not structured or focused. So the person seems batshit crazy, like King David. Erratic, like schizophrenia. Like disordered thinking, disordered speech, slurred speech without alcohol or drugs. Antisocial behavior, but not because the person, you know, enjoys solitude for rumination or some kind of creative hobby or process, some kind of introversion. Dun, dun, dun. So solitude, but not like Virginia Woolf, more like Ted Kaczynski. Oh, Okay. Delusions that do not fit the framework of reality. So you're unable to, like a person is unable to fit their worldview and adjust it to those of other people. So the person is not able to have um, the person believes that their version of reality is the definitive um, summation of reality of the truth. So I guess I would say inflexible worldview. Ah. Preoccupation with weapons and the feelings of power. Let's put that one on there too. Preoccupation with weapons and the feeling of power. The feeling that like somebody ugly or short or small, if they have weapons, they feel important, they feel powerful. Because otherwise, they just feel like a lonely, wandering, beaten down man in society. They feel like Arthur Fleck, like they don't feel like they're seen. So when they arm themselves with weapons, they feel like they're important, that they matter. Even if that is through fear, they almost get a rush from people's fear of them in some kind of sick, some kind of twisted way. In the butt hole. Oh, that was a perfect butthole shot right there. Right in the butt crack. We're gonna get some of this herb. Gotta get some herb. Better get my swerve past the hors d'oeuvres. Better make it work. Mm. So King David had all the red flags going on, you know, like in any. Now the red flags would have gone away. Okay, all right. So the red flags would have went away if King David said, "Oh, this is my," um, like if he had said, "Oh, this is my friend Jerry and he plays bass in my band," like then I would have been like, then most of the viewers would have been like, oh, okay, so he has a friend. Oh, that's interesting. And then like, all right. Or what if, even if it was like his mom, even if he said, oh, look, it's my mom or my grandma, it wouldn't have been, normal necessarily, but, it happens sometimes, right? Okay. So it's not normal, but neither is like the median price for the first person for a male or a person to buy a house in the USA is 40 years old. So that's not normal either. But hey, okay, it's not really normal if two guys are 50 years old, they're living together and they're not gay, but they're sharing space and they're roommates. It happens all the time, but you know what? It's not normal, but it's a reality. So there's a lot of realities in the world right now because of economics or uh, economic problems that the world is not, you know, where it should be, and so there's a lot of situations that are not quote unquote normal in the traditional sense. But then at least some of the red flags would be uh, down, I guess. Yeah. The red flag of not having any weapons and kissing them and shooting them and bathing in the bathtub with your guns, then all those red flags would be gone if the person didn't do that. And but if you have a guy that's in his bathtub ranting with tons of guns, with his shirt off, like King David was, well, the audience is going to call the authorities eventually because that's not really normal. That's very scary. So eventually that's what happened, and then King David got committed, and then he wasn't on YouTube for like, I don't know. I think it was like, man, I think he got a pretty. Did he get a really stiff sentence? Was it like 4 or 5 years? Yeah, but I guess he got the rehabilitation and the help he needed, and now he came back reinventing his personality as like a rapper or some kind of artist, some kind of musical artist, poet, something like that. Somebody. So, is it good? No, it's like shit. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's not like he plays an instrument or anything that I know of. I mean, he could have a keyboard and lay down some chords and some beats, but it's basically just like it's really bad Gil Scott Heron, except it's not that good. Revolution will not be televised. No, it's not that good. It's like um, I mean, I could make up some shit, but I can't really. Um, I can't really describe to people how bad it is. It's just all. It's like the worst cliches you could do, like in open poet form. It's just like the oppressor oppresses, and it's just a bunch of shit, a bunch of bullshit. It's just like it's like a schizophrenic, like he probably is, with like on too much drug schizo meds. It's just real bad, terrible. It's like I would not be a slave to the society of the oppressors, and it's just I will not be cut by these scissors. It's just bad. It's just awful. Yeah, but yeah, I don't. I think when he goes to open mic night, people are like, "Oh God, hey, it's this guy." I think maybe he gets some undercult, some like YouTube fame, and people are more laughing at him than they're like basically some young people are like at the open mic and they just want to have a good time that night at the local shitty bar and get drunk and have a few laughs or whatever, and this guy gets up on the open mic and he's like, he looks like crazy as fuck, like James Holmes and shit. So I bet if I listen to his open mic night video, I bet you people will just be probably laughing the entire time. But in his mind, he's like going on some great artistic creation, you know. But well, at least he can't own guns anymore, and he can just his only guns are his bars and his raps, and that's good. Yeah, I guess they do have for schizophrenics that they have these drugs that like control their symptoms. Because I remember this one guy, like when I worked at a grocery store for like 5 years, he would he would sometimes have really crazy symptoms where he would say crazy shit, and then sometimes he wouldn't say crazy shit at all, and he'd be like really focused. So I always thought to myself like when he's off his meds, he's saying crazy shit, and then I'm thinking when they put him on his pills, he doesn't even act like that. So it's almost like two different people, really. So I guess they have. I mean, I don't know if they have schizophrenic meds that like control all the symptoms and the thoughts that the person has and make them quote unquote normal. But I would imagine that they have some drugs that reduce the amount of psychotic episodes and thoughts and uh, so like somebody without medication might say like elves live in the tree, elves live in the tree, and then maybe when they take the medication, then it's so strong it blocks that shit out, and then you'll say like, hey David, I thought you said there were elves in the tree the other day, and then when the guy's on the medication, he's like, what? No, there's no, I never said that. What are you talking about? Yeah, the only reason I remember this dude is because he was just like the scariest one. Ooh. Ah, bullet. Damn. Welcome to the team. There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in watching that podcast between William Shatner and Neil deGrasse Tyson. That should be an interesting one. Uh, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Do I like Neil deGrasse Tyson? I mean, some people, talk shit about him, and uh, astrophysicist or scientist, whatever. Yeah, think he's too like he's a douchebag or something, like he's too arrogant or something. Um, I don't know. Uh, I've enjoyed some of his videos on science and stuff. So hit you in your balls. 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 Smash you in your balls. Oh, would that be the ending to the song? Yes. Okay, here's how the song goes. Okay, imagine the beat. Okay, and then I go, hit you in your balls, hit you in your balls, hit you in your balls. And at the end, it would go, hit you in your balls. That would be pretty much how it would go. So I don't want people to, go to school tomorrow and say like, I don't want them like some guy to come up to him and say like, you don't, you don't, you don't know the lyrics to Phenomenal Ninjas hit you in the balls, and then so I don't want any kids like being made fun of at school tomorrow because they didn't know. That's what you get for not knowing my song. Hit you in your balls. Yeah. 11:33. That's what's up. 33 like the Illuminati, boy. 33 like the Illuminati. My name is Scotty. It's time to get naughty. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Boy's about to get downed. Yeah, it would make me let a trailer make me Sora AI wouldn't let me make a trailer for um see the AI video I wanted to make was I wanted to make like if McDonald's had an ad for like a President Donald Trump like new sandwich and it'd be called the McDonald. And that's the AI video I was gonna do, but I wasn't feeling the Donald Trump stuff, so even though it was silly, I was like, make it called McDonald. Maybe it'll let me do it after like uh, so chicken nuggets are really good, but yeah. Chicken nuggets are very good. But the problem is, how come okay, so chicken McNuggets are great. So we've already like established that. I know they're not good for you or good for me or you, but they do taste really good, like chicken McNuggets. Let's be honest. That shit may might cause you to have a stroke or a heart attack and diabetes and fall down the stairs and be crippled for life. But this shit that tastes good though. But yeah, yeah. Down. Yeah. Dun, dun. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh. Okay. They never make you, you gotta have ground chicken to make the chicken McNuggets. So so they at McDonald's they have the chicken McNuggets and they're so good. And you can even make homemade chicken nuggets if you have the recipe. Anyways, but I always wondered why they never made a chicken McNugget burger. Why they never made the McNugget sandwich. Why don't they come out with the big the big McNuggety sandwich? Imagine that shit. The big McNug, the McNuggy, the big McNuggy with Swiss cheese. No, the bacon ranch McNuggy. Imagine the bacon ranch Swiss McNuggy, the big nuggy. Imagine the possibilities, man. Bacon ranch McNuggy. Ooh, shooting at me, dog. Guess what? Scotty, Scotty's gonna have to go off on this one. This one's kind of, yeah. I was trying to tell people about the McDonald's chicken McNugget sandwich, and all hell broke loose. All right, you brought down the thunder. Hell's coming with me, or whatever. Like Kurt Russell and shit in Tombstone. You brought down the thunder. Now get ready to. What does he say after that? I know he says bring down the thunder. I forgot the other line. You brought down the thunder. Okay, I let's just accept the reality. I don't remember the next part of that. Oh, is my shield broken? Oh shit. Bam, bam. Use the force, Luke. What? My masturbation sword has ran out of masturbate. What if your penis did have a time limit, and I was like, you're out of masturbation credit, you're out of fat credits. It was like you can never beat it again or something. I'd be like, what? Ooh, too slow. Oh, ooh. Arrow in face. Took my shit. Oh, took my shit. I kill you. Uh. In the butthole. Uh-uh. Shit. Get off your ass. Ah. Good die. How much booty do I have? Booty. Hmm. Fair amount of weapons. Yeah. Well, yeah, I kind of know. I know what the problem with the like Ghostbuster crossover movies are. It's not like they don't have cameos and parts for Annie Potts, Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and I think it's because like it doesn't like the intermediate characters like Paul Rudd and what's her face and like Carrie Coons or whatever her name is. It just doesn't seem like they really connect to like the original Ghostbusters. Like you just don't. I know they say it's Egon Spangler's grandchildren and shit, his daughter and grandchildren, but it's just like it probably would have been better. I know it would have been better is if they had like the guy who was Oscar from Ghostbusters 2 and then like he was grown up. That would have worked a lot better, I think. And don't even get me started on the lesbian ghost girl relationship. I was like, what? Lesbian ghost? Yeah, it was just bullshit. Yeah, it just seemed like the old Ghostbusters. It's like they're just there for like people that were kids or like baby boomers or millennials, or probably like the target audience is like the kids that grew up in the 1980s, like me. And that's probably the target audience. Besides, well, everybody's the target audience in the new Ghostbusters, but I'm talking about like the legacy and the old characters are like meant to make me have the feels. In other words, Ghostbusters, uh, Afterlife, and Frozen Empire kind of suck. That's basically the problem. I think it also sucks because Paul Rudd basically plays like the same dude in every movie, and then Finn Wolfhard basically plays the same Stranger Things. He basically basically plays Mike Wheeler like in everything he does. So it's also kind of like not very exciting. It's almost like there's a movie and then like somebody from Stranger Things is in it, and they're like, "Well, you're in this movie because it's sci-fi and fantasy, and that's Stranger Things. So just act like the person from Stranger Things. Act like 11 or whatever." It's just really boring. Or Paul Rudd just plays like the everyman, like in every single movie. It's like the same fucking character. I'm the every Joe average guy that's ever lived. It's just so lame. Yeah. I guess the Ghostbusters Afterlife was basically just a rip off of the first movie and Ghostbusters 1984. Um, an apology for Ghostbusters 2016 by Sony Pictures and Sony Pictures Entertainment. I think I watched Ghostbusters 2016 drunk on my laptop. I rented it or something, and it still sucked. And I was drinking hard liquor too, so I was like, this still blows. Yeah, I think I watched it and then I was like, okay, that was garbage. Now it's time for the real party. Oh, okay, that came out 2024. Um, I think the last one had a really bad box office. Yeah. Okay, the budget was 100 million. It made 202 million. Okay, so it made 100 million profit. Uh, wasn't very good. Yeah. So it didn't do the kind of numbers they wanted it to because it's just lame. Yeah. Uh, I don't think they'll do a final one. I don't think so. Um, I think I think pretty soon you won't see a lot of nostalgia. You won't see a lot of 1980s nostalgia porn. Uh, just because people are not only people are dying and getting older, but it's also because like people are probably getting sick of hearing how wonderful the 1980s were and all that, how perfect it was, and how happy people were and shit like that. It gets old after a while. So like it gets old. Like, oh, the 21st century is hell and it sucks. It's a dystopian Blade Runner nightmare from hell and a disconnected dystopia. And yeah. So eventually, even people that loved the past will have to stop reflecting on it one day, just because they'd have to. Yes, even on the eve of Home Alone's 35th anniversary, the nostalgia is, yes, like the old saying, the nostalgia is killing me. Yeah, finally. It's probably highly unlikely they're going to make a Ghostbusters. What is that? Is that Ghostbusters 6? Yeah, the a final one. Uh, I guess another problem does it get harder and harder like as actors get older, like the Ghostbusters, like Dan Aykroyd and uh, Ernie Hudson and um, Bill Murray, even the great Bill Murray. It gets more difficult for older actors to uh, translate like the joy, like of because at first when they were doing it and they were like everything was new. It wasn't just oh no, oh we're doing this again. It was like oh wow, this is an interesting universe. Like this is an interesting world. And then It's not like a bunch of 75-year-old guys showing up like, oh God, we're doing this again. Like you're like William Shatner at your, you know, 10th Star Trek movie or something. You're like, here we are. Another one. Yeah. Not saying that actors in Ghostbusters or Star Trek feel that way when they show up for the thousandth time, but or the sixth time, or however many times, but yeah. So if they did make a third one, I think Rick Moranis has come back to Spaceballs to make Spaceballs 2. Uh, Mel Brooks is almost 100 years old. Why are they making this? Um, Money, I guess. Yeah, money and nostalgia. And it's going to be like the 40th anniversary of Spaceballs. I think it came out in 1987 or something. So when I was like 7 years old. So that's like an ultimate nostalgia trip for myself, and people in my generation. But of course, John Candy's dead. Of course, you'd have to think about that because he died at 42 years old back in the 90s of a heart attack. This guy was pretty fat and probably didn't exercise or do anything healthy ever, probably, except just walk around. Um, I don't think he was a party animal, but I don't think he was a health nut either. So yeah, so Spaceballs 2 will just automatically not have John Candy in it, but everybody else will be back. Bill Pullman and the reclusive uh, the great Second City television legend Rick Moranis. So and of television and well, I'm sorry, yeah, television and screen, and of the great Mackenzie brothers and Ghostbusters. Um, but and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, a lot of other cool shit. Oh, that would be pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah. I just thought about that, like how ironic that would be if it was Paul Rudd who plays Ant Man, and then it was Rick Moranis who was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. But probably the Ghostbuster 6 is not going to happen. Um, yeah, but I would pay to see, or I would watch the if they make Ghostbusters 6 if Rick Moranis uh, decided to come back as Lewis Tully from the original movies. Yeah, that would be pretty nostalgic. I'd be like, oh my god, with Bill Murray and everybody, that would be pretty wild. And with Sigourney Weaver and shit, I'd be like, oh yeah. Even though these people are like 70 something years old, this would be pretty interesting. Yeah, so if they got the band together one last time, and you got to see Fleetwood Mac one last time, or you got to see the Eagles one last time, why not? Or the Rolling Stones or something before everybody passed away or retired, or well, I guess there's only a few things you could do: retire, or die, and or live. I guess is the other option, I suppose. Oh shit! Not this one. Yeah. We're at into the new day of the Monday, so yeah. Tula rudely awakened me today, and I didn't go back to sleep, so I kind of feel tired because I did a bunch of shit, and so I think I'm gonna go hit the old sacker and under a red moon. Okay, I don't. God bless and best of success as we approach the Thanksgiving. Mm. Ew. Okay. I, boo boo.